What moment completely changed your life forever? 4 in the morning, I am 62, hear a thud in the bedroom. Found my wife F, 59 on the floor. Massive stroke, right side affected, cognitive and speech abilities impaired. Just that quickly, both of our lives changed. She survived, but is an entirely different person. I am her 247 caregiver. I can't afford to hire someone to come in the home, so I can't go back to work. Her income, beyond her pension, is gone as well. Financially, I'm slowly working through it. Losing over half of our income has certainly been a challenge. Most Americans are one medical emergency away from ruin. Even with good insurance, I still have medical bills due, as well as the other financial obligations we made while still employed. Emotionally, it's been draining. Physically, I'm tired. But I still have my wife, so who am I to complain? In 1992, my buddy and I had a day off from our retail jobs. This is in the Bay Area. We decided to go up to San Francisco to hang out for the day. I decided I wanted to go to Sega's US headquarters to see Sega fresh out of HS. I had no idea this wasn't a thing you could do. Go to Sega HQ and ask to look around. Bewildered, they told me to leave as this was a business, not a theme park. They were very nice, but very confused. As we were leaving, I was backing out and hit a car exiting the parking lot. The man I hit assumed I was the kid of someone who worked there, so we ended up talking. I informed him that I was just there because I love Sega and wanted to look around, and we had a good laugh about it. Turns out he went to the same college as I was attending at the time and had lived in the same dorms. The following week, when I went to pay him for the damage to the car, he showed me around and introduced me to some people and told the story of why I was there. 2 weeks later, I got a job answering phones for Sega. Been working in the video game industry for over 30 years now. Done okay for myself. Had that series of events not happen, I don't know what my life would be like today. Once I was placed with the foster family, who then went on to adopt me. The moment my parents told my siblings and I that our grandparents had been killed by a drunk driver. Choking as a child at an IHOP, a doc saved my life by performing the Heimlich, then nonchalantly sat back down to finish his meal while my grandma was still flipping out. I wanted to be like that. My father caught me smoking pot in the attic, drug tested me and found out I was doing way harder drugs at age 17. He then said he was going to send me to a rehab or he can drug test me every 2 months until I was a year clean. He made me exercise 5 days a week and work in the family business. Now I have an active lifestyle and good discipline in my daily life. That moment, looking back on it, changed my life forever. I will always say I have the best father on earth. I'm now 30 and married to the love of my life, and think of that day a lot. Just as a clarification, my dad really didn't care about smoking weed. It was the heroin and cocaine I consumed up as a teenager while I was touring in my cool punk rock band LOL. The moment I realized my mother was not a victim, but an enabler of the abuse, it was easier to walk away and move on without feeling guilty about leaving her behind. My father died in 1993 when I was 7 years old. It sent my mom down a path of heavy drinking and really screwed up the rest of my childhood. The moment my mom called me to tell me my father committed suicide. Probably tomorrow. I have a date. I've never had a date before, so I'm very nervous. Whatever the outcome of the date, I will get an enormous confidence boost from it. Wish me luck, guys. The much requested update. It went very well, guys. We went for a walk through a beautiful park, then went to a quiet cafe for some tea. We were very in sync in thoughts and we both felt very at ease around each other. The nerves we both had just evaporated almost immediately after meeting. We exchanged phone numbers, we talked only through the dating app before, and we agreed to meet up for a second date. I want to thank everyone for the kind words of encouragement. You guys rock. I used to hang out with a large group of friends. I was picking on one of the guys at one of our party. He walked over and poured a beer on my head. I was much bigger than this guy and it took balls for him to do that. The whole party stopped to watch what would happen. I had an epiphany while he was doing that and realized I had been an a-hole to this guy for years. I stood up and walked over to him, beer dripping down my hair clothes, and apologized for being an asshole. I don't think he ever forgave me, but it was a powerful lesson for me. I never wanted to be the kind of person to pick on others. I never did it again. That was 39 years ago. The moment I tried to end my own life in 2020 on my 18th birthday, and my brother knocked on the bathroom door saying he needed to take a quick sh! Him crapping that day saved me. The moment I had to honor my mother's wishes as her POA for health care and not have her placed on a ventilator. The hardest words to hear her say to me was just before she passed, "I want to die at home." There was just no time as she passed away only about an hour later. Finding out I was pregnant after being told my whole life I had a high chance of never conceiving a baby. Doing mushrooms the first time, I used to judge people who tried really hard socially growing up. I called them try-hards, and judged them for being awkward for posing and pretending to be something they weren't. I have a big personality and take up a lot of space in the room, and I would ignore them, unintentionally making them feel small. I say unintentionally because to me I just didn't like them, and didn't want to talk to them. I wasn't cognizant of the fact that ignoring them was mean or could affect them. I was just thinking about myself. I was tripping on mushrooms, and it was the first time I felt connected to the world around me, beyond my own nose. I had an epiphany that people who were trying too hard just wanted to fit in and find their place in the world. Not everyone was as lucky as me to have a really good sense of self at a really young age. What they needed was inclusion, not exclusion. I realized I could use my big personality to make space for these people, and to include them intentionally. That was 30 years ago. Been a nicer, kinder, more compassionate person ever since. Married my wife. Been together for 52 years. 2 moments: mom dying and daughter being born. Both completely shattered my world in profound ways. One broke me and the other saved me. The morning my first wife passed away from sepsis, leaving me 24 at the time with a 4-year-old to figure out how to raise. Long story short, she's almost 27 now, and is successful in her career and very independent. I still internalize everything and never really mourn properly, and it's hanging over me probably until my days are at an end.